Am I on? I'm good. What's up? What's up? I have officially taken over Team Blunt Talk, Joey Blaze, Stream. It's your man. You know who it is. FEB, Boss. Call me anything. Just don't call me broke. Represent Attorney League, War Room. Yeah, I just came on, wanted to talk some shit to y'all. There's been a lot of spiciness going on, a lot of offensive line debauchery, and a lot of talk. This defensive line, offensive line spiciness, a lot of spiciness about who's the illest in the country in all positions. And we haven't had many tournaments going on this year, and it looks like we got our first official 9-man tournament post nationals kicking off. It's April, but better late than never. So I told Joey I want to come on here and talk to the people. I'm always representing the Punishers. I'm always representing War Room. And most importantly, I'm always representing Attorney League. So I appreciate Joey for giving me the opportunity to come on here and talk some shit with y'all. We gonna get things going and let it be what it's gonna be.
It's going to be something, Eric. Let me tell you, we are excited for Ocean City this weekend. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's show. It's Blunt Talk. We're back for another round. It's another tournament. It's been about 3 months, Eric. 3 months since the Nationals already.
That's crazy.
It's wild, man. Like the amount of time that's passed, the amount of things that's changed. The 9-man scene is growing. It's booming. We are in what could be argued as one of the best eras in this sport. And I believe it's only going to get better and better and better.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
So I'm really looking forward to it. And if I can get them on, let me see. If I can get them. Perfect. We got a couple of guests with us as well. Everyone coming together for Ocean City. Really excited about it. Joining us now from Team Blunt Talk is Ross Collins.
What's up?
And joining us from Predator Productions, LLC, is Mr. Jerome Rousseau.
Hello and good night.
Hello, sir. Glad to have you gentlemen here this evening. Welcome to the show. Let's get it started by first talking about the teams in this tournament. Very small A bracket this time around. That's been one of the stories going about. It was 13 originally set for this tournament. We've gone down to 7. A couple teams have dropped out for budgetary or travel reasons. Some teams for COVID reasons. That came out last night. Prayers to the 148 Outlaws. They are dealing with a COVID outbreak right now with some of their players. They had to drop out from this weekend's tournament due to that. Wishing them well and the best. Hope to see them back on the field very, very soon. Those guys play tough. They're very physical. It was a joy getting to watch them at Nationals. They ended up going down in the quarterfinals of the A bracket. Hopefully we'll see them in Atlantic City. Right now, the 7 we got, out of the usual suspects, we got Strong Island Bulldogs. They're coming down, making the trip, along with the Lions. Rollers are making the trip down here. And the DMV is adding a bit of flavor to itself. There are a couple DMV teams who are throwing their hat into the ring. The Misfits, they're coming. They're ready to go. We've seen the jersey. Seems like everyone's a misfit nowadays. But the thing is, you can only dress about 30 to 35. Who do they got? That is the question. How deep do they go? We'll see. You take a look. The Elite Rebels, they're coming into A, playing there for the first time. TJ Holst and Scott Reynolds and company. They've shown potential. They've had guys who have played A for years on that roster. So we're looking forward to seeing how they do. Dream, they're making the jump from B bracket to A bracket. They were getting a lot of compliments down at Nationals for the young talent that they possessed and how good they played despite being very inexperienced at 9-man. And they decided, you know what, why don't we go out here? Let's try A bracket out. You got to give it up for them, man. Really happy to see them make that trip. And the last team in it as well, the No Mercy Scorpions, Greg Proctor and company, arguably one of the best teams in the DMV in recent years. Their defense was lights out. They got to Nationals and played in A, got to the quarterfinals. And, of course, we know what happened from there, Eric.
I run DMV, baby.
Is that all for Stanford Punishers DMV?
Punishers DMV, Punishers South. You know, we still looking forward to that. A few guys actually reached out, so there's some things in the works there. Don't be surprised to see it happen soon.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I really am. That sounds awesome. Someone said called Media Man joining in here. Who is that? Who is this fifth person joining? I did put a link down. Who is Media Man? That's their name straight up. Is this like some superhero or something? Like, what's his power? Does he fill games with like one hand and take pictures of the other? What's he got? Who is this?
Oh boy.
Show yourself, Media Man.
I can't disclose those information, but continue on with your discussion with a GCFFA person. Go right ahead.
Is that Deric Lafond?
I
No.
believe that's Deric Lafond, guys. Deric Lafond joined the show. Deric, glad to hear from you. Can't see you. But we're talking Ocean City. We got 7 teams in this bracket. Before that, let's take a look at what's going on in the rankings of that Jerome and I both have been working on, his own and mine. Let me play the video. This is the teams that Jerome has listed. Go ahead and break it down, Jerome.
Okay, give me 1 second. You enlarged the whole thing. Oh, so right now, because of how Nationals turned out, we have Main Event as number 1, Punishers as number 2, Lions as number 3, Dogs as number 4, Rollers as number 5, and Gladiators as number 6. I think our predictions was pretty good between the top picks. I think the only one of them that we probably got wrong was probably 7 Point because they underperformed, unfortunately.
3 Point, you mean?
Whatever they want to call themselves.
3 Point, and they dropped out of the Ocean City tournament.
And he dropped out of the tournament, so that kind of threw off the rankings a little bit. But my predictions, I'm going to go through this quickly. Main Event is going to drop out of the number 1 spot. They're probably going to drop out the top 6 because they don't attend. So I don't.
Whoa! We're going to punish Main Event for not being at OC.
Listen, it's not.
Hold on. Those are your guys.
Listen, I can't say that a team who does enter tournaments can do better than a team who doesn't. So if you don't make it, unfortunately, that's what it is. Now, it's not difficult for them or a team like them to miss a tournament and come back in the next tournament and win 4 games, in a weekend, and that possibly could put you right back in the top 6. And again, that's just something that we have to do going forward. Because if teams miss 2 and 3 tournaments, we can't keep them at a certain spot because of how they performed 3 or 4 tournaments ago.
Whoa! So to cut you off and stuff,
Yeah.
You do know that Main Event has a strong roster and stuff, right?
Yes, I do.
All right. So the reason why that they didn't play in particular tournaments was not because of Deuce Dutch, but it was because of other players and personnels and shit.
Yes, I know why they're not playing in this tournament.
They'll be at that tournament and stuff. The price is right, Like Ted DiBiase, Ted DiBiase, the price is right. Price will play. Has something, yeah.
I think
everybody has a price to play.
I think probably engagement.
So are you dropping Punishers as well out of the top 5? Do you believe the Punishers are no longer a top 5 team?
That's not the conversation that we're having.
But wait a minute, you already said you were going to drop Main Event.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
It doesn't matter what I think a team is or isn't. If the team isn't there, they're not going to get any wins or losses. So this rankings go by wins. It goes by performance. If you're not there to perform, you're not rewarded. That's just what it is.
I respect the consistency in that statement.
That's just what it is.
I don't. No. Your consistency of this statement and stuff. Yeah, so.
I just personally like to point out that in these current rankings, you have to get to the 7th team before we see a DMV team. I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna comment on the best competition in the country.
It's funny you
I'm
say
not gonna
that,
comment
'cause,
on
like,
that. Eric, you know what
I'm looking at
stand.
Jerome's rankings. Him and I, at the
You
end
know
of
where I stand.
Nationals, had different takes on the whole thing.
Right.
Of course, main event number 1, can't dispute that. Punishers number 2, can't dispute that. R3 was a little different. Let me pull up what I have, and that's still in effect. This is what, yeah, it's kind of weird. I literally just wrote this down in a notepad format, and there you go.
Joey,
A lot less work than Jerome, but I had a lot less time though. But
Joe, I got a question.
Yo,
Are a lot of those players that are on the lines, are they gonna like transition into like going onto the lines and stuff?
What did you?
Because
what?
if you go back, Bost knows what I'm talking about. Because a lot of those players that are in that Central Connecticut shit, they jump ship and join the lines
down here. Is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, they jump ship and they jump the lines and stuff. Like that's that type of stuff. He knows the original players that are playing and stuff, and like along the lines and stuff is like when it comes up to Ocean City and stuff, are a lot of these teams or players will jump ship to like join teams like Super League, like LeBron and the Lakers.
So you think teams be loading up more so in this tournament from teams that aren't there? Like, let's just say, for example, Punishers aren't there. Jared Foster. No. Correct?
No. We're not. No. This has nothing to do with that type of shit.
Okay.
It all comes down to along the lines of player, like they're gonna look in like different regions and stuff to like recruit these players.
So to your point, what I would point out is you never see someone from the North play on a DMV or a South team, but you often see DMV or Southern guys play on North teams.
And that was said earlier on in a live video by Dion. Him, Shaq, and Meech are all playing for Rollers in this tournament. And they are usually with the Maryland Bullets.
Right.
Whoa.
Right. So, I mean, and I like Shaq, Meech, Dion. Be careful with that Roller situation. Rumors are it's not what it's all cracked up
to be. Right.
Little smoke and mirrors there. Don't hold that against the North if that experience is not what you expect.
No, it's not the whole experience of the North. It's just players that are going to just jump ship from New England and join these like particular teams. I'm not saying like the founding fathers of the guys from the North, from Mass and New England playing on teams. I ain't going to say any names. They consider them to be the misfits.
You guys know the athletes? You're talking about Deuce and Bailey and all those guys? Is that who you're talking about?
Well, I can't say that and stuff, but the misfits are like guys that will go to teams and like help them out. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A little bit.
Ross is just laughing over there.
Sure don't.
Deric, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you, man.
But I'm just saying, like,
I know
you're gonna have these dudes that are gonna like, oh shit,
Deric about to get his ass beat. Who's that? Your older brother? Oh shit!
That's why they can't cut his camera on.
Oh shit! Hey,
Deric Lafond
man,
joining us. Thank you, Deric.
Don't kill anybody tonight, Deric.
Word. Well, finish your rankings, Joey. Finish your rankings.
All right, so you and me differed here. I have Strong Island ahead of the Lions, and I say that because of the fact that Strong Island Bulldogs team came out at Nationals, and they gave Main Event and Punishers their best and hardest games that weekend. They went out there, and it was only 21-19. Ross, you had that semifinals between Punishers and Strong Island.
It was one of the best games I ever watched, man. That was a good-ass game.
Yeah, that was a very close game too, and it came down to the wire. And Jerome, you had main event Strong Island. That was a tie on Friday night.
Yep, coming back down by 10 at half to tie that up.
And props to main event for that, and props to Strong Island. They came to play at Nationals. You know, I felt like Lions, when I looked back at it, they had a very weak schedule in the end with Takeover, who was a flop at Nationals, 3-point spread, who never scored after their initial field goal against Scorpions. And of course, you take a look at the other team they had, I believe it was 148 Outlaws, who they were a good team defensively, but they struggled with offense. And so I feel like Strong Island had the more impressive resume by the end of the weekend. So I feel like coming into this, they're my 3, Lions 4. We got Rollers 5. Eric, you're right. There is no DMV teams right now. It's not looking good for the DMV, but this is their opportunity to shine this weekend. I'm going to say it. I'm not going to punish the top 2 in this tournament. I'm not going to punish the punishers, and I'm not going to maim main event. I'm going to let them both live because of the fact that you can't make every tournament. It's hard to make every tournament, man. It really is. Not all of them are feasible. You're not going to see main event and punishers and all the other A teams come to Clash at York in October, unless, you know, things are fine. We'll see.
I mean, if it's a national series that, you know, that everybody agrees that they get national points for and things of that nature, then, you know, that's something that, you know, we can talk about. But again, it's not, for me, like my rankings are based on like 23 categories. So it's not that it's my personal feelings or beliefs. It's about performance, and it's about the individual performance on Friday and Saturday, you know, when it comes to nationals, and the individual performance on Sunday, and then it's to combine performances. So that's why my rankings are going to be a little bit different. But you're right. You know, it is difficult to make every single tournament. But again, this is a tournament that normally the punishers, I believe, and main event normally don't miss. But again, prior arrangements, I know on main event side, prior arrangements was made. You know, so they couldn't unfortunately make this one. But again, I have no doubt that Punishers is going to average at least 4 wins in AC. No doubt. I expect them to wholeheartedly go undefeated and be ready for Sunday. So again, it's not easy. It's easy for certain teams to jump back in the rankings. You know.
Oh, I agree, but I don't feel like one tournament is bad. Like,
I hear what
don't
you're
get me
saying,
wrong. If
Joey.
main event and punishers decided they didn't want to play until Nationals 2025, then yeah, drop them. But to me, the way I look at it, I just feel like you shouldn't punish them off one. To me, I would say about the 3rd tournament missed in a row would be cause to move them down a little bit.
But see, this is where I like to have one. I appreciate what Jerome is doing, because initially when Jerome dropped the standings or the rankings, I was one of the guys that gave him shit about it. But now that I hear him speak about it, you know, I get where he's going with it, and it removes feelings and bias, and it just makes it about numbers. So if he has categories that, you know, he created an algorithm, and then based on that, that's how he's ranking, I'm okay with that, because that provides consistency, right? That means everybody's going to be rated and ranked the same way. And he can explain exactly why he slotted people where they are. But I think it opens up one of the things we do at Tourney League. We have our standings, and then we have a power poll. Mm-hmm. So there could be a difference between the rankings based on what Jerome is doing statistically. And then you can still do a power poll to say, you know, this is where we feel the teams are strength-wise. So I like it, man. I think it just brings more elements to the game, and it gives us more things to discuss and debate, and for people to give more opinions to.
I agree. And again, for me, you're never going to tell me out of the top 3 teams is never going to be main event, punishers, or bulldogs. That's like, you're like any combination of the 3 I'm fine with. So again, that's why for myself, like Eric said, for me, it takes bias out of it. So and that's what happened, you know, during this last Nationals, when people were like, oh, how you rank such and such? And then I showed them this big ass chart, and they're like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? So again, it's like that. Power rankings are totally different. and I stay out of that because you know what my bias is going to be. So that's why I kind of stay out of it. You know, unless I'm paid. No. Unless I'm paid. Once I'm paid, that bias is go out the window. Like it is. Like AFFL,
this man selling his loyalty on the internet right now.
When AFFL comes up, there's no bias. You know, I'm there to do a job. So there's like whatever happens. You feel me? So again.
So you would not have been partying up a main event had you been there for the national championship game?
No, I wouldn't. Now, you talking about on Monday or when a tournament is over, we can have that conversation. But when we're recording, nah, can't do that. But that's why I like when Eric posts the power rankings, because that has nothing to do with me. And then they can hash that out. But like when I do these rankings, it's a little different because, like you said, once I go through all the algorithms and it generates whatever number that is, then that's something to talk about. And if it's close, then we can have that conversation. But until then, like I'm not punishing a team for missing one tournament. Like that's just what it is.
Right.
But again, even when the Punishers and main event drops out, you don't think they're gonna be top 4 or 5?
They'll be back fast, guaranteed. Right. And I just feel like one tournament to be punished for. I feel like if you miss about 3, and when I say 3, let's just say in this scenario, main event didn't play Ocean City, didn't play Atlantic City, and then say, I guess Charm City would be the next one after that. They weren't there either. Then I would say before that tournament, okay, we're vacating number 1. Main event's going to drop because we don't know what they're doing anymore. Because we don't know where they stand. Because, by then, you got 8 months of time has passed. It's not the exact same team as it was. The same guys will be there, but the momentum won't be what it was in January or what it is right now.
I'll be honest with you. Cellini, Elliott, they don't care about rankings. Right. Dorothy and those guys, they don't care about rankings.
Facts.
Most teams, most teams look at it like, yeah, it's great if you're ranked 1 or 2, like depending if you get a bye and things like that, but you're gonna have to play somebody good at some point anyway.
Exactly.
And it goes to your point earlier, Joey, where you said you felt the Lions had an easy draw, at Nationals. Don't forget, we did a draft and the Lions.
Oh, no. I don't. When I say that, I mean when you take a look at how the 3 teams they played performed.
Right, that's going to my point, right? Like we did a draft and
2
they picked.
Two teams. They had a bye week.
Right.
No, I'm also referring to the 3rd team they beat, the 148 Outlaws on Sunday.
Right. So, and that's my point. They picked the pool they went into, right?
Yeah.
So now that we all talk all the time behind the scenes, and some GMs will say at Nationals, they'd rather play a tough schedule for pool play because then dudes are ready on Sunday.
Yes.
If you play a soft pool play schedule, you're not battle tested, and then come Sunday and you got whomever you get in the quarterfinals and you've been beating up on marshmallows all week. Like there's a give and take with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting to see which teams really care about where they are seed wise and which teams don't.
We'll see how Greg Proctor feels about where his No Mercy Scorpions are at right now. Welcome to the show, Greg. Glad to have you on.
No Mercy shit. You merge Proc.
I wouldn't call it a merger, man. It's just retooling, man.
So why did their name come before yours?
The same thing as like Baltimore Scorpions. Like,
okay.
Is it?
Okay. So this made y'all stronger because you guys was tough in Florida, man.
Yeah, man. It just basically brought some pieces back home, man. Like for real. And as you can tell, like during this whole COVID thing, man, like even myself wasn't there in Florida.
Right.
This kind of like if somebody can't make it to a tournament, like if I can't make it to Ocean City, even though I'll be there, we also have a backup plan for that.
Right.
So.
Right. It's not like if you don't go, Scorpions don't go. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it was in previous times, but now we pretty much got all our bases covered right now. So yeah, so it just makes it a little bit better instead of just scrambling at the last minute, looking like some hot garbage out there.
Right.
So
Right. You can consistently put a good product out.
Yeah.
Greg,
least
I gotta tell you, man, you got a tough draw this weekend. With Strong Island Bulldogs and the High Rollers. Your thoughts going into these two matchups? The first one, Strong Island, 11 o'clock that morning. I believe it's actually 10 o'clock now because Andy pushed it back an hour due to the dropout with 148 Outlaws. Your thoughts on the Bulldogs coming in here?
Just another team. I mean, they're good. I really want to play against, assuming Birdman's there. I don't know if he got other priorities going on, but I would love to play against that team just to see what we're made of.
I think that's a good measuring stick right off the gate. In my opinion, like I feel like they're the strongest team entering this tournament, and I can't think of a better way to get a measuring stick for where you're at as a team heading into A, which you guys had a chance of playing back at Nationals, but you were missing a few pieces going in, especially yourself, Greg. And I feel like this time we're going to get a better idea of just where this team stands. I will say you guys did put in a great effort back at Nationals. You guys played very well despite the circumstances.
Right.
I feel like this is going to be a chance for you guys to make a statement. Like Eric said, no teams in the DMV in the top 5 or even in the top 6 in Jerome's case.
That's because it's up north bias, man. Up north bias. He already know, man. He wasn't gonna put none of us up there. We could have finished in the final 4. He's like, nah, they wasn't there after the tournament, so now we got to drop them out.
Do you feel the Scorpions have surpassed 7-point spread as the team that represents the DMV?
Yeah,
I agree.
Definitely. Especially with the pieces that we got. Especially with the pieces, we just got to put it all together.
Right.
Once we put it all together, man, it's going to be a problem. Like this is the year to make some noise, like with what we have and the pieces that we picked up. It's just a matter of just putting it all out there and putting it, just making sure everything runs smooth. Of course, we're going to hit a couple bumps right now, but we're going to be all right.
Second opponent.
This is going to be a true measuring stick right here, though. I like the two teams that we're going against. Now I know that Dion and I guess the hired hitmen from the DMV going to High Rollers.
They got a couple bullets ready to fire. Right, Kevin Clancy?
That's what I'm hearing. What's going on, fellas?
Oh, what up, Clarence?
Clarence, KC.
Proctor, ready this weekend?
What's that?
You ready this weekend?
Come on, man. Say less.
Hold on, Clarence. You still with Gladiators?
No, I never went with Gladiators. I play with Aftermath for Nationals.
Oh, okay. Just checking. Just checking.
So Greg, you talk about a second opponent, High Rollers. We saw them at Nationals. They were very close to knocking off Main Event in that quarterfinals before Mike D scored with less than a minute to go on that go-ahead touchdown to give them the win. We've seen how they perform so far. They got to the championship against Eric's Punishers back in August in the Corona Classic, albeit didn't quite go well for them in that championship. Congrats, Eric.
Thank you. Didn't go well for them Friday night at Nationals either. $10,000. Thank you.
Hey, Blaze, man, let me tell you like this. All them teams that was there in Florida, that's coming, really only 2. I guess High Rollers and Bulldogs. They may not have this same team that they had in Florida. Let's keep it a buck. They not gonna have that same team. Not for Ocean City.
Lions
Some
too.
players may not make it. Huh?
Lions too. Don't forget the Lions.
Oh, I even forgot about them. They're not gonna have the same team. They not. Like it's not a bigger draw to go to OC for anybody up north. It's good rec time. It's good
may
getaway
not
time.
be, but here's the thing: is at the end of the day, while teams may not want to travel, the players, if they're available that weekend,
oh yeah, they're going.
I think
They
make
definitely
the
going to
trip.
jump. Right.
You never know who could pop up on what roster. That's the beauty
True.
of these kind of tournaments.
True.
You know, I always had a
that's what I
philosophy
was
when I
thinking.
ran TBT back in the day with Flag. My philosophy was anybody who's not already in the league or tournament is a free agent. Therefore, I could add them to the roster.
Facts.
And if you're smart out there and you can find that right piece to bring in that you
see
know
all
can
that?
fit right in.
See all that stuff you're talking right now? If you smart and you got to find the right piece, you just can't jump ship.
Right.
You know, you just get, I'm available. Let me go on here. It ain't gonna work.
Right.
Not in the A. No, I've been there, done that before. You're not gonna just jump ship up in the air and expecting things to click like that.
Right.
It can be tough. I always say if you at least get your core guys at least 20 to 25 and you get enough guys to fill in at other spots, whether it be rotational or even coming in as a starter to help out, I think it could really pay dividends depending on how that team could gel that weekend. I look forward either way to seeing what all three of you guys got between you, Strong Island, and the Rollers. I think that's going to be two really interesting matchups to watch, and I'm really excited about it. It's good to see Scorpions, No Mercy, wherever you guys are at this point, playing again. I know it's been a while for you, Greg. You've only been one circuit tournament in the last year and a half. You played a Clash of York, which I guess technically, I don't know. No, it don't count. That's a B tournament. That's very much a B tournament.
Right.
But, it's been a bit for you. I know you last played A, I believe, in Charm City 2019. I was there for the Scorpions. You guys fell short to the Gladiators. Eric, you know a little bit more about up north than I do. They got Matt Bailey still, right? Or is he off the team? I'm a little out of touch with the North right now.
Gladiators?
Yeah,
no. Rollers.
Oh, Rollers.
Yeah.
I don't believe so. I believe Matt Bailey is with second gen.
So he's with second gen now? Okay, so he's all
back to second gen.
Yeah,
I was wondering if we're going to see perhaps a rematch of Charm City between you two when he was on Glads. You guys at that tournament ended up being bounced out by Kevin Clancy and his Maryland Bullets in the opening round on Sunday.
Sure did.
I'm also sure that was the Bullets' last circuit win.
Hey, Joey, don't be throwing shots on here, man.
You're my quarterback still, Clancy. You're my quarterback still. It's okay.
Why everybody left Mudgett?
You better chill on my QB there, Joey.
Why did everyone leave Mudgett? Mudgett's a good guy.
Nah, Mudgett's a good guy. I'm just messing with Clancy.
It's not that. It's some other things why we dropped out. But it was the right decision by Mudge. He's got some stuff to get together. This COVID stuff's jacking everybody up.
Yeah.
Mudgett can sponsor the Punishers. Holla at me, Mudgett.
Hey, Bo, who Jared coming down with? I know he coming down with some team, man. It's one of the three. With the Lions? I can see him with the Lions.
He's such a whore. I don't know. But if any, I could see him with the Lions, because he and Dorsey have a relationship.
Right.
Yeah, out of everybody going down, I could see him with the Lions out of anyone. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I could see it. Actually, no, it's not going to happen because there's a Skamoog Tournament of Champions this Saturday, and we're playing in that.
Oh, so he'll come down Sunday then.
It's possible.
Because that's how it normally works.
Right. It's possible.
Who's throwing for the Rollers?
It may be CJ.
Okay.
Maybe CJ. If not CJ, then I would fully expect someone connected to the Virginia guys.
For what it's worth, CJ was the quarterback for Laney's when they won Ocean City the last time we had it back in 2019.
That's very true.
Good option to have. I think that's going to be a good matchup if that is the case between CJ Tarver and Greg Proctor. I'm looking forward to seeing who Strong Island brings out for Saturday.
Well, in Tourney League, they have 6 quarterbacks on their roster.
So they're running a 6 quarterback system where you never know who's going to throw the ball from 1 minute to the next.
Correct.
I like that.
Strong Island for the Bulldogs?
Yeah, they have 6 quarterbacks available to them. They have 2 receivers who can play quarterback and get the job done, Petit and Tony. They have Pulsini on the roster from the Valley Goats. They have Tommy Benowitz on the roster, who was Punisher's quarterback when we first came out a few years ago. Birdman's on the roster. Rob Lane is on the roster for the Dogs, and I'm missing another one. There's a 6th one out there somewhere.
Wow.
Butte, one thing about Butte, he will always be prepared.
Some teams can't even find 1 quarterback, let alone 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Big multitask.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they'll be solid. They'll be very solid.
What are your thoughts on the other teams in the A bracket, Greg, whether it be the Lions, the Misfits, Elite Rebels, Dream, or I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. I like to see the DMV teams, taking that step up. I like what Misfits got going on. I mean, they got a nice rotation. We'll see how they hold up.
In fact, you actually just played them Sunday, Greg, in the OMFFL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What were your impressions playing against that Misfits team on Sunday? If you were to assume some of those guys, if not a majority of them, will be there next weekend.
They're going to definitely make some noise. I mean, Boone's a veteran quarterback. They got some pieces back there that can be exploited, just as with any other team. But, I like what they're doing. I like what Tyler's doing back there in the secondary. He's mixing it up. He's definitely making the QB think. So they got a lot of things going on. I like the hybrid of I guess with Boone having Sosa out there, being an option guy. He could throw just like he had with TJ Williams, that other guy.
That's been a big staple of the Chris Boone offense over time, is that 2 quarterback set. And when you have someone like Tay Sosa, who I know very well, Jerome, you can't go wrong with him on any side of the field, whether it be catching, running, or passing. The guy can just play the game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
That's the dude you need for that 2 quarterback system.
I feel like it makes it even more legit. Like having Tay in there, Tay is way different of a quarterback than what we saw down here when Boone ran it with TJ Williams, Chuck Boyd, or even Richard Mouse Myers down here in Washington County, or even back in the playoffs with Sean Parker as the second quarterback option. Tay he's taller, he's a bit more thicker. He has a arm, he has a cannon. He can throw that thing deep.
Oh yeah. He did that to us right before the half.
Dude, that halftime throw he had was sick.
Bro, that was 60 yards. It looked like 60 yards easily in the air.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. And I watched Tay and Boone both in the Washington County Flag Football League when they both first started at quarterback right at the same time for Affiliate Nation and Too Much Talent, respectfully. And I sat there and said, these two can really make things happen on the field. And now seeing them in the same offense here in 2021, the Misfits are going to come with a lot of firepower on both sides of the ball. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how they do. And honestly, like I said, Tay is way different than the guys that Boone has played with over the years at that position.
Oh, definitely. He brings a lot of credibility to that second QB option. Like you said, he could run, damn sure could throw the ball, and he could catch.
Yeah, and you look at the
height. About Tay Sosa?
Yeah, Tay Sosa.
And he'll smack somebody too.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Tay's our guy too down here in county. We love Tay down here, man. All-around athlete. The dude can just ball. Like, I've seen him over the years make some great plays. And you look at the weapons that this Misfits team has. I'm really interested to see what they can do. Your thoughts on the other teams coming in, Greg?
I really want to see what the Elite Rebels. I heard that they're pretty nice with I guess TJ at quarterback.
TJ Holston and company,
Yeah. I want to see what they can do. I mean, it still may be a tad early. I'm not 100% sure who they have on their roster. You know, they're probably like a B+ team, maybe not a solid A just yet. So we'll see how they do. I mean, again, everybody will know come Saturday/Sunday.
The thing about it, like TJ Holston, he definitely has that potential to be that guy at quarterback. He's got mobility. He's got the IQ. He could definitely go out and play. He's gotten the Elite Rebels as BC Elite back over time to several appearances in semifinals, whether it be Charm City, York. They always play teams tough. I know some of the WAC Rebel guys are on that team now.
Right.
They came over and played after the Anarchy split after Worlds last year.
Right.
Rest in peace, Anarchy. I'm pretty sure Punishers was a part of that death.
Yep.
The highlight for me was in their last game against Adrenaline Rush. I remember they threw a 105-yard pick six return for a touchdown, and nobody made an effort to stop the return. They just all walked back to the sideline as the pick happened.
Oh, damn.
That's how you know a team is dead.
That's terrible.
Yeah, they was tired of that shit.
That's the team. You know what, man? I really can't wait till we play the Punishers, man. That's who I want to see out here.
You don't want that. You don't want that.
Oh, I really need that. I really need that in my life. Just so I can see Foster again.
Hey,
I didn't really like what y'all did to us in 2019.
Y'all gave Proc hope at Nationals when he wasn't there. They kept it a little close.
Exactly, but you know,
slow and steady
he
was the
gonna say
race,
something
baby.
different.
Slow and steady was the race, man. We had another game to play.
Play smarter, not harder, huh?
That's it. You know, close only counts the hand grenades and horseshoes, man.
Absolutely.
Listen, I'll tell you how y'all can see the Punishers win your league and make your league play, and make sure your commissioner enters you into the Tournament of Champions.
Come on, man.
League.
But don't you got to win your league, though?
Hey, I mean, I'm kind of anticipating that.
I mean, we like 6 out of 7 over here, so.
The dynasty, huh?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, listen, we got a lot to go through up here. It ain't that easy up this way, man.
That's what I'm saying out there, man.
A lot of heavy hitters up here, man.
I'm seeing that.
Fact.
Listen, you gotta bring the Scorpions up. We'll give y'all triple headers once a month.
Hey, we looking to travel, man.
Bring them up once a month.
I want to ask a question to both of you right now. Has the level of travel been this high ever in the sport? You got guys who are willing to go 4 hours on a Sunday morning to play flag football at 9 a.m.
No, the travel has never been this dedicated. No. I have, yeah. Now it's just, you know, I guess now, you know, people are just definitely seeing it more, you know, shit, you see it on TV now.
Right.
Crazy. So, and, you know, like with you know, yourself, Blaze, with E, all these guys putting the production out there, you know, you're just making the game more available and accessible to people. It's like, oh, this flag thing is really legit. So people definitely want to come see it and participate in it. Now they're thinking it's not a joke, especially after what AFFL did on TV when it was like, when the Joes versus the Pros. Pros was like, oh, it's a different game, man.
I agree.
It's crazy to me, man. Like I've had people adding me who aren't even playing flag football at this point, and they're watching the live streams. Like I've had local high school athletes add me on Facebook because they see the 9-man lives, and they're looking at that and saying, I may not be Division One. I might have to go to community college for a couple years. Why not go and play that game? We had a kid last season on our Warrior squad, fresh out of high school, had just turned 18 the week before the season. And by October, he was out there. He actually played against you, Greg, on Rampage back at Clash of York at DB. And you think about the influx of young talent that have come into this sport. It's insane now.
Bro, I'm pretty sure. I mean, hell, just from the DMV area. Let me give you 2 quick stories, and I'm pretty sure he has one, probably a plethora of them up north. But 2 guys, man, and one guy everybody knows. This one guy, he got, he was done with college football, right? And he kind of lost the love for the game. He came out to 9-man. This was back in like 2006-ish, 2007. Lost the love of the game. He came back out to flag. Next thing you know, he has a contract with the CFL. He kills out there, and then he goes to the NFL and has a great career. That guy I knew him as Deric, but his name was Cameron Wake.
Oh, that's awesome.
Crazy.
It's crazy. And we had a guy on our team, who, he was pretty much not in school, played wide receiver. Just so happens that he got picked up from, I think, the Denver Broncos. Got picked up by the Denver Broncos, came a receiver. Fortunately, he got cut from there. But then during the Super Bowl run, he actually got picked up by Seattle.
Yeah, I remember that.
And, the rest is history for him. I mean, he's not in the league no more. He's still playing, here and there. But, man, people love the game, man. It's all about the love of the game, man. People can go to where they got to go if they dedicate themselves to the love of football. If you still have that passion. And you're still young, obviously.
Yeah, that's a major
Yeah, that's key.
I got our league Greg over here at Owings Mills. I want to go ahead and advertise it real quick. They're doing a 9-man age 12 through 14 tournament for free on May 23rd over at our facility in Kenwood. I personally think it's great that a lot of kids now at younger ages are going to start playing this game. And, we go back to that kid from the Lou back at Nationals on that NTB Wolfpack squad who came out there as a teenager, and he was just balling out on so many guys. He came ready to play. For him, that was his Super Bowl. And I feel like getting the kids involved, letting them play this sport will only help grow it more and more.
Oh,
and yeah. Like I'm really looking forward to that tournament next month at OMFFL. I think it's going to be great.
That put on by Timothy Rich.
Yeah, that's who's going to be putting it on.
Yeah, my man Tim. Yeah,
Tim's doing a lot of good work out there too.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and I do feel like it's going to be interesting watching how this game grows because, like I said, so many younger people are starting to play it. Like when I started my team, the Survivors, years ago in Washington County, we had 6 kids who were high school seniors, not even 18, playing for us.
Well, I think that is an important point. We've been talking about it. I just actually spoke to Thomas about that today, where we're going to look to start sponsoring some young high school kids for like 5-man and things like that, because that's where our longevity and growth is going to come from.
Exactly.
Who was it? The Blazers, they had a young kid out there at Nationals who's a sophomore in high school who was playing DB, locked in. He's a beast. He found flag. He plays rugby and all that. He found flag. His pops found it for him, and his younger brother, who's I think a freshman or something like that, because COVID shut down their high school football season. You know, and his pops will tell you, like he's a testament to it that through flag football, him playing flag football all year round, he got reps he wouldn't have gotten, you know, sitting at home and things like that. So it's definitely something that should be focused on is starting to create some type of avenue for, you know, for youth. I don't know if 9-man is necessarily the thing for like some of the younger linemen. That might be a problem, but definitely for the skill guys. Flag is huge for the youth.
I do feel like, you know, we always look at how football is done in the North area as a whole in the high school level. And most of the time, a lot of those football players, after the regular season ends or after the playoff ends, they aren't really playing the sport again until that next fall. Right. And so you have a 10-month layover where you're not getting the work you need to keep going. You know, you yourself, Greg, you see these teams all year round are playing now. We're having exhibitions and tournaments in February and negative 20-degree temperatures at some random field that somebody happened to have a connection to. And it's crazy to think, like, I really do feel like it would be great to see flag football offered as a spring sport on the high school level.
I agree. But that's kind of like their 7-on-7 though, even though it's not flag, but they kind of treat it like 7-on-7 because that's truly what it would be.
Yeah.
I do feel like seeing something like that though would really help grow this game and really make it popular with the kids. And, you know, you yourself, Greg, you know, what was your first year playing?
Playing
flag 9-man.
That was what, 2005. What you gonna say? 75. That was 19.
When did 9-man start?
Oh, man.
Greg was the first quarterback to play 9-man. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Here's the crazy part, though. Like, when we first started, truthfully, man, it was 8-man. It was 8-man ineligible. Because, and that was pretty much like the B to 9-man. Again, I hate to give credit to the North, but the North was really running that. I mean, we had a couple teams down here with Metro and the Packers, but nobody was on their level. Like, yeah, everybody looked at them at the top teams, definitely. Like, but they would get all the talent. So everybody here, you know, would play 8-man ineligible. And then when they said, no, we're just going to do 9-man B instead of 8-man ineligible. So basically, shit, that probably started like 2007, seriously. 2007, maybe 2008, when they done away, when USFTL, when they done away with 8-man ineligible and just made it all 9-man.
Did you ever imagine, Greg, that we'd be where we are right now with the sport, where we have shows, whether it's Eric's, mine, Deuce Dutch's show, Keith Giles' show, talking about the sport. We have these broadcasts going on all day with scoreboard graphics and everything, like you're watching. Yeah. In some cases, like I said earlier with PCFFA and what Pat Johnson and Workhorse Media have done, I sit there and I feel like I'm watching a professional broadcast. Yeah. And that to me, I think is crazy to think about. When I first got in this sport as an adult 7 years ago, I never imagined we'd be where we are right now with any of this.
No, I definitely didn't imagine that. I mean, to me, it was always low-key, underground. It was just kind of like like the Fight Club joint. Like, you just know of it because you heard it. You heard about it. But now with all this social media stuff, though, it's definitely has blown up. So now, I mean, and the thing is, too, like, you would just, if it wasn't for, like, tournaments, I would, you know, never have met E or anybody else from up north like that. Like, I would see them maybe once, maybe twice a year, depending on what tournament that we may hit during that time. But, you know, without the social media influence into it and involvement, we wouldn't know about half of these tournaments that's going on.
I agree. I think social media, Facebook, and things like that is what really changed flag football. Because we always had the Real Deal page and like everybody
Yeah.
had little local league pages and things like that. But Facebook and Instagram made it where like you can communicate every day, multiple
Right.
times throughout the day, and and then like with the posting content and things like that, it just made it crazy. What's up? Come here, man. You going to sleep?
Yeah, man. Yeah, so it definitely changed, man. And what's up, Max?
Say hi, Max.
Hi. I don't want
Go
to.
ahead, go to sleep, man.
No.
Yeah, man. It definitely changed it for the better, man. Because like you said, you see the content out there, man. It's real, and hopefully you guys are getting looked at, for professionally, stuff like this. Because what y'all do is amazing. What y'all do is amazing. Yeah.
Like I said, it's crazy. I remember the first time watching one of the shows was I tuned in for Eric's show 4 years ago. I was at Planet Fitness, and the only reason was Andy Hoffman was tagged in the post, and Facebook let me know that Andy was live with somebody named Eric, and I was like, who?
That
You're
was,
probably cussing his
that was
ass
the
out
infamous one where we uncovered Andy was fucking the B division.
Yep. Oh yeah. Hey, look, and we were the guinea pigs too. But the Scorpions came back.
Yes.
He was like, "Oh hell no!" Oh yeah. He was killing him. Yep.
He put his foot in his mouth on that one.
Did he? Did he? I was like, "Hold up, man. We ain't going to this tournament, man. Fuck this tournament." Yeah.
Good times, man. Good times.
Good times, and it's been a long time, man. I remember watching that episode. I was in the gym just looking at it, and I was just blown away by what you were doing back then, Eric. And that was part of the inspiration that led to me creating the show Washington County Flag Football Live later that fall, which has since evolved into what we're doing right now with Blunt Talk.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I mean, you guys are killing it, and most importantly, you're super consistent. And I think that's the main thing. Like a lot of people can go live and do whatever, but it's hard to do it consistently, and be in demand. So anybody who does it, my hat is off to all of them, because it's not easy, man.
No. And it takes time away.
Takes
from
time
whatever
away.
you're doing.
Right. All of it takes time
family
away.
or whatever you would do otherwise, man. It's definitely time consuming, but I'm pretty sure I can speak for everybody, man. It's definitely appreciated from every player.
Right. It's a lot of guys. It doesn't matter who it is, anyone who gets on here and provides some type of content, we appreciate that and respect it.
I'm just glad we got film, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, part of my inspiration was as a kid, I actually had a hour-long VHS that one of the players on my dad's team's wives had shot of 3 games they played in 1997.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 regular season games in Washington County Flag Football League. And the last game was Maryland State's, because that was a big deal down here back in that time period. 1997, my dad's team went to Baltimore, Edmondson High School. They made a trip because back then the league champions would host a team traveling all the way from, say, Hagerstown or Baltimore. They took on the Chiefs in that one. And that video as a kid, like, I always would watch that just because I enjoyed watching my dad's team play flag football. I really did. I was really sad when he told me he wasn't going back and that we were going to focus on softball instead.
Playing against the Chiefs can make you change your whole career.
Hey,
he did tell
or
me.
the Dogs did.
Hey, you don't feel some type of way that Joey has a Mike D. Mark jersey hanging up there and not yours?
Hey, look, he has yet to receive mine. Plus, he probably got his specially autographed and shit.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, signed to to my number one fan.
He signed Joey's titty.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
Oh man, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's why it's first there. He getting ready to cover that TBT up.
It's crispy. He steamed it and everything.
Oh yeah. Straight from the dry cleaner.
Oh man.
Oh man. All right, Greg, anything else you want to add tonight, man? It's been great having you on, bro.
Nah, man. Hey, safe travels to everybody, man, and good luck to all the teams. I hope all y'all lose though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm cheering for my team. I'm hoping we're holding it up, but hopefully just good competition. Everybody be safe out here, man. COVID's still real.
Yes, sir.
Just be safe, man. Safe travels.
And you say that in light of the situation with 148 Outlaws, as mentioned last night by Andy on the show. They have had to drop out due to COVID.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. It's sad to hear that. It really is. Like, best of luck to them. I wish them the best.
Yeah.
It's a scary situation. We went through that recently in the DMV. After that Baltimore tournament last month, Dirt Boy and Tyler both got COVID right after that tournament. Thankfully, nobody else that we're aware of, and even OMFFL, we had that last week.
Last week,
2 players on the Bulls and on Elite testing positive. So be careful, man. If you feel some kind of way, because I had somebody tell me that, in their case, one time they felt like they were fine that morning, but that felt sick for days. If you feel some kind of way, if you're a little off, man, do not go.
Right.
Don't go.
Exactly.
Like I know for some players, I get it. Ball is life. You gotta play. This is their getaway from everything in life. But you gotta take a back seat and care about your teammates and their loved ones, because this shit is serious.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Agreed.
Facts. All right. Anyways, Greg, glad to have you on tonight. Thank you for joining the show. We appreciate you. We'll see you about 10 o'clock on Saturday morning.
Indeed.
I'll be live for that one. First game of the day. No mercy in the Strong Island Bulldogs. You got 2 of the top 8 teams at A, top 10, give or take. We'll see the rest of the year. Who knows who's going to pop up on the A circuit at this point? It's a new year in flag football. Either way, looking forward to it. Thank you, Greg, for joining. We'll see you on Saturday morning.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, y'all.
All
right, Proc.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Proc. Greg Proctor joining the show. I know Jerome dropped out. I know he had to take care of his daughter. Shout out to Jerome. Ross dropped out as well. I don't know what happened on his end. I'm guessing maybe a family thing. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show the games that are going on the schedule. And I got the full schedule up, by the way. So focus on right here with the Lagoon on Northside Park schedule. That's for a majority of the A games. And that's a little outdated. I didn't download the other one. My bad, fellas. So we'll go through the games real quick. SI Bulldogs and No Mercy. That's going to be now at 10:15 due to the change in schedule. Eric, your thoughts on that game?
Tough game, man. I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people anticipate, but I got to take the Dogs on that.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Dogs too, man. I think No Mercy early on. They give them a fight. They'll come out and play hard. They're going to play tough. The motivation will be there for No Mercy. But I feel like in the end, the SI Bulldogs take charge and win it. Kevin Clancy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Eric. Like, probably nobody's going to be as loaded as they were in Nationals, but it's tough. A couple of the big dogs in it playing. So I think I agree with Eric. They'll keep it close early, but there's going to be too much dogs, too much talent on that team.
Yeah, I 100% agree on that one. The other one going on in A, you got Rollers and No Mercy. That's going to come up now at 11:30 at the Lagoon Field next to the parking lot. Eric, your thoughts on this one?
I'm actually going to go No Mercy here only because I think the Rollers would be stacked with talent, but, I think defensively they'll be okay, but I think No Mercy will probably have more continuity on offense. So I'm going to go No Mercy here on the upset.
Okay, No Mercy in the upset. Kevin, your thoughts?
I'm going to go Rollers, but I think it depends on who's the quarterback.
Right.
I think CJ, if he's under center, they got a really good shot. If he's not, I'm not sure who's going to play for him. So I think it depends on who's at Q. But are all of our guys playing with the Rollers? Is Meach playing with the Rollers,
So it was confirmed earlier by Dion on his live. It's Dion, Shaq, and Meach are heading to the Rollers, which is a bit of a surprise to me. Over the weekend, I saw Dion and Meach on the Misfits, and part of me was expecting to see them there come this weekend, but they're going to be high rollers. They're going to see what they can do.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. But those three, I mean, they had a lot of talented teams. Like I said, it's all about who's going to be the quarterback. I think it'll be close, but I think the Rollers will pull it off.
It's going to be tough for me. It's going to be interesting. We talked about it, the potential matchup of CJ Tarver versus Greg Proctor. I think that Tarver, I don't know how many of these Scorpion players have faced him in the past recent years, but he's one of those guys who, if you're not used to facing him, it's hard to adjust to him early on. And I think he's going to create enough offense to give Rollers a victory on that one. It'll be very close. That's going to come down to the wire. I got Rollers in that one. SI Bulldogs and Dream. Eric, I got you on this one.
Bulldogs, landslide.
You got me in a landslide. Okay.
Same.
All right.
Same.
Yeah, I do too. Like, no offense to the Dream guys.
35 plus.
What's that, Kevin?
I said 28, 35, some kind of spread like that.
Damn. Classy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to Sane, to be honest, man. I hope these Dream guys are watching right now, or at some point tomorrow, if they're just tuning in. Get motivation right now. You guys are in for a challenge. B was tough for you back in Nationals. A is going to be a different monster, and this Bulldogs team, we talked about it. The last time we had a full circuit year, which was 2019, they were the team in the A bracket, and they showed at Nationals they're still easily in the top 5. And I'm going to go Bulldogs here. I just don't think Dream's going to have enough. They're going to get an experience and an education very early on into what A is. Just as Darnell Franklin of Dream just commented. So somebody from there is watching. Darnell, I know you're watching. Hey, I got to give a lot of respect to Darnell and what he's doing over there. Taking a lot of young guys from the area and turning them into what seems like a team with a lot of potential. We'll see how they do, but I think Dream's in for a nightmare, especially with the Rollers right afterwards, back to back. Imagine your first A circuit tournament. You got Bulldogs and Rollers back to back. Eric, your thoughts?
Bulldogs, who's that? Rollers and Dream?
Rollers and Dream. That's going to be the 2:15 game now. Up an hour.
Rollers. They're going to be too much for the Dream to handle.
I feel the same on that. Clancy, your thoughts?
Same. It's just, like you said, I didn't see him much at Nationals, but I watched him a little bit. And if you're not dominating in B, and you got to play those two teams. It's going to be a long Saturday.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. Like I said, this is going to be an experience and an education all at once. Going down the line, looking at the other games, the new 5 p.m. game, of course, is showing Misfits in 148. That's no longer the case. I didn't get time to put a video up for that today since it's a graphic I got. It's now going to be Misfits and Lions in that 5 o'clock slot. I'll have that game as well as Rollers versus Dream. Eric, your thoughts on Misfits versus Lions as the Misfits look to make a big statement on the circuit. The following has been there, but right off the gate, here they are with the Lions. Your thoughts, Eric?
Lions. Easy win.
Lions and an easy win. All right. Clancy, your thoughts. I know your good friend Chris Tivis will be on that team.
Yeah, they only got one board in the chamber. They're going to be missing the other ones. I think Lions will take it. I don't know.
You got Lions?
I hope it's close. I would love to see a good game, but I don't think it's going to be.
I think it's going to be one of those games where Misfits will give a fight at the very least. But in the end, Lions take over. I'm going to give them about a 2-touchdown win in that one at the very least. I think they just pull away late in the game. It's going to be interesting. Tivis just commented his first time facing that Lions D line. See how it goes for you, Tiv.
I mean, honestly, it's not so much their D line because the Lions aren't really known for the D line, but their offensive line, if they have, their starters, their offensive line is pretty dominant.
Yeah. And I feel like that's going to be interesting because the Misfits, like what I saw on Sunday from them at OMFFL, they definitely have the dogs in the trenches. I saw that firsthand. It's just a question, how can they handle that Lions A bracket offensive line? It's going to be a big difference from what a lot of those guys are used to seeing over in the 4-state or OMFFL, which those guys just got their first taste of last weekend when they debuted in the league against Rampage and No Mercy. Big step up against the Lions. It's going to be good.
Yeah, I think another side of that too is when teams jump from B to A, a lot of times people talk about trenches, and that is true. Trench play is different. But DBs, oftentimes in the B, a B team may have like 1 or 2 really good receivers, and you may have 1 or 2 good D-backs. In the A, you got to have 4 or 5 good D-backs. If you don't have 4 or 5 good DBs, a team like the Lions, who could go 5 wide with a lot of speed and a lot of skill, they're going to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they have a couple dudes that can absolutely play on the A level, DBs, but like you said, not enough to cover every single person that the Lions have.
Right, and I think it'll just be an adjustment. I fully expect the Misfits to transition well to the A because I do like their team. And I know they've been playing like other styles like 5-man and things like that too. So it'll just be a quick adjustment for them. And I think once they kind of get used to what's going on in the style of play in the A, they'll be fine.
Yeah, give it time. But you got to say, this is going to be an interesting draw for them right off the gate with the Lions. The other game going on, Elite Rebels taking on the Lions. Eric, your thoughts? I don't know if you've seen anything on the Elite Rebels. They were BC Elite, but I know it's different brackets. So I'm going to say, what do you got for this one?
I'm going Lions there. I think Elite Rebels underperformed at Nationals and the B, considering some of the experience that they have on their team. I know Ballinger's on that squad, very good center. I like TJ. I think they're an up-and-coming team. I just don't think they're there yet.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like this is going to be for some of those guys on that team, this is going to be a difficult jump, but for others, they're going to have a case where they're going to be familiarized with it, but this is going to be different for them. And when you have a team like the Lions That's actually going to be a 6:15 matchup. John Regan just mentioned the Elite Rebels Misfits games at 3:30. Thanks for the update, John. I had messed up and forgot to put the new graphic up there for today. Me personally, I got to go Lions in this one. Clancy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going Lions again. Tough draw. I like some of the pieces Elite Rebels have. It's kind of like the dream. I think they just jumped to A a little too quick. I think they could eventually be an 8 team. I just don't think they're there yet. But we'll find out Saturday.
We shall see. And, of course, the other game that we had not mentioned yet, that'll be the 3:30 game, as Regan just pointed out in the chat. It's going to be Misfits and the Elite Rebels. Eric, your pick?
Ooh, Misfits, and I'm going Misfits.
I'm going with Misfits too. I feel like the potential of the talent they're going to bring, if it's anything like I saw on Sunday, or at least just a little bit like it, I feel like they're going to do well against the Rebels. I think it'll be a close game, however. But in the end, Misfits get the win. Clancy, who do you got?
Yeah, I agree with you. Misfits in a close one. I think athletic-wise, the teams match up pretty well. I think it would come down to the trenches and which quarterback plays better, which I think Boone, with his experience, should play better. But I think it'd be close. I think Misfits pull it out.
All right, so he's got Misfits. So let's take a look at what Sunday could be. Come Sunday, gentlemen, who do you think will stand tall at the end? What is your prediction for what a championship game could be? Eric, you first.
Ooh, championship game? I think you have to say Bulldogs and Lions, but fate could have them on the same side of the bracket, in which they may bump each other out in like a semifinal or something like that. But surprisingly, I mean, you got to go Bulldogs and Lions if they're not on the same side of the bracket. If they are on the same side of the bracket, then I'm probably going Scorpions and Lions.
Okay. Clancy, who do you got?
I got Bulldogs and Lions as well. From what I've seen, it looks like the Bulldogs been playing well lately. I could see them winning it. But then also, the Rollers could sneak in. Like I said, CJ is quarterback for them and plays well for the weekend. They have just as good a shot as anybody. With the athletes they had matched up with him behind center, you can do a lot of stuff on offense. Like Eric said, it depends on what shows up for their defense. But I think if you get Shaq and Dion out there, I don't know too much else about the Rollers. I just know they're a good team. I think they could play with everybody that's in the field this weekend.
I agree. I think at Nationals, they probably had the best defensive secondary at National. So, you would think adding like Shaq and those guys will only make them stronger, but, continuity comes into play there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But Rollers could be dangerous.
Yeah, my prediction is going to go with a rematch from Virginia Beach 2019. Strong Island and the Lions. And I'm going to go Lions in this one. I think the Lions get the dub. They pull it out. They get their first circuit championship. I want to say the last one they had was Rhode Island. They won back in 2019 against the Blazers. I think it'll be a tight, very competitive game. I think No Mercy Scorpions is also a team to look out for, as well as the Rollers. I think those are your top four. And then after that, I would have for number 5 there, Misfits. They have a chance to sneak into the semis. It's definitely there. It's all going to depend on how all that talent connects and how they do. There's a lot of guys on that Misfit squad who have never played on this level. They played on B, but not A.
Right.
And, you and Kevin both know, Eric, that the transition going from that B bracket to A, it's just different night and day. Clancy, you saw that firsthand after you went out with the Bullets and won the B bracket back in 2018. And then the next season, you were on the A circuit.
Oh, absolutely, it's different. The dudes that say otherwise, they find out once they start playing. They got that false hope that nothing's going to change. All that talk from the pack. I'm excited to see them play A this year. But it's different. The athletes are different. The linemen are different. The big thing, I would say, technique and strategy is different. It's just way more advanced than what they do on the B level.
Hey guys, I have to jump. It's close to time for me. Just want to
All
thank
good,
you, Joey,
Eric.
for
This
having
is
me
actually
on,
about
man.
it.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you, man.
Appreciate you for coming on tonight, Eric. Thanks again.
Thank you.
See you, man.
Hopefully
Have a
we'll
good
see you
night,
very
man.
soon. Looking forward to seeing you in Atlantic City in a few weeks.
Yes, sir. We'll be there.
We'll be live.
All right,
Thank
brother.
you, Eric.
All right, have
Thank
a good
you,
night, fellas.
Clancy. Good night, Eric. Thank you once
See ya.
again. Well,
Hey,
that's
Joey, I
really
got to roll
about it.
too. I just got home, but I'll see you later, man.
All right. Well, if you're done and Eric's done, I'm done. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night for the B Show.